Definitely, I think if you regularly and seriously engage in fantasy, then you're just by the very nature of it, you're going to understand the game a lot more. Obviously, because you're going to focus on statistics and you're going to focus on the other data that's important in basketball. In our team, we have what we call the hustle stats. And sometimes the hustle stats are not reflected in the regular game stats. But for us, hustle stats are very important. Like, for example, people who are setting screens, we call that a screen assist, or the pass before the assist. We track all of these things. How many times a person gets in the way to draw a charge, we track that. How many times a person dives on the floor. For us, those are what we call the hustle or the effort stats. Those are the things that we track on our team. Well, I think if you are a fantasy practitioner, if you indulge and engage in fantasy regularly, it's already very natural byproduct that you're going to enjoy the game and appreciate the game, because obviously you are a more serious fan. You're more serious than the average or casual fan because you appreciate the data and the things that go on under the hood, as it were. Of course, my point guard has to be Jimmy Alapag. Alan Kaidik has to be there, the best shooter. And then my favorite, Alvin Patrimonios, one of the forward spots, together with Danny Siegel. The center has to be Junmar Fajardo. Very little because I've coached almost all the players in the PBA. So especially at point guard, that has to be either Johnny Abarientos or Jason Castro. Both the players, I've both coached them. So I've coached all the great shooters and the two guards. I haven't coached Hector Calma, so maybe for point guard, that can be one. I haven't coached Bogs Adornado as a shooter. Very hard for me to think of others that I have not been able to coach, because especially in the center spot, I've coached basically all the greats. Obviously, I haven't coached Mon Fernandez, so he's got to be there. I've coached Nelson Asaitono, so the power forward spot. Of those that I haven't coached, maybe it's just Hector Calma, Bogs Adornado, and Mon Fernandez that I can think of now. Quite a lot, but I think a person who would generate a lot of fantasy points is a guy like Kelly Williams, for example. Got good three-point shooting percentage, good rebounding numbers, high field goal percentage, doesn't turn the ball over a whole lot. So just off the top of my head, that might be one guy. I think because you're tracking statistics, I think there are very few defensive stats. So in a fantasy context, I don't think defense plays that much of a role. In real life basketball, certainly, you cannot win if you do not play defense. Obviously, that has to be Junmar Fajardo and Japet Aguilar at the center spot. I'd have to put power forward position of all the active players right now. Might be Perkins, Troy Rosario. In the shooting forward spot, Calvin of Tana obviously has to be there, and Gabe Norwood is still playing, so I'd put Gabe Norwood there. In the two guard spot, going to be Roger Pogoy and CJ Perez. Point guard, obviously, because Jason Castro is still active, Jason's going to be there together with Scotty Thompson. Well, obviously, in the TNT camps, we do not have the hoop jeep. The hoop jeep is very different. Another difference, the Token Tex camps are really for younger kids. Token Tex camps are really with a lot of the professional players and coaches as well. Oh, it's a huge, I'm a firm believer in sports as community builder. Sports plays a big role in developing our youth as well as improving our communities. The more people are engaged in sports, the more they are going to live healthier lifestyles, have healthier habits. So it's a big part in fostering community spirit. Very important. It's hard to play quality basketball if there are no courts available, obviously. So as Filipinos, we're very adaptable, but if we have good courts, it helps a lot. I'm used to it. We hold a lot of clinics with kids, so I'm very used to the kids' reactions. To the kids, number one thing is to be coachable. I think that's where everything starts. All of your skills, learning how to play, comes from you being coachable. Learning how to listen, learning how to follow instructions. So if there's any serious athlete in any sports, I always remind them, be coachable.